Welcome to another edition of Chaplain John with Chaplain John Sayers, featuring special reports and interviews with people doing kingdom ministry in Tulare County and beyond.
Okay, here's my thought for the day: the gift of reflection. I've been doing something kind of a thought for the day, and I've been really using this book that I've been sharing. I want to share it again. It's called The Sacred Rest. There's the book, okay? And it's called The Sacred Rest, and recover your life, renew your energy, restore your sanity. I got to get that reading now. It's on the cover, because I am going to be doing something in September on my podcast. And I think it's going to be around mid-September. I'll let you know when it's up. And in fact, to get to any of my podcasts, what you just do is you go to chaplainchat.podomatic.com. That's chaplainchat.podomatic, spelled PODOMATIC.com. Well, I'm going to do a series on this book that's written by Dr. Sandra Dalton Smith. Yeah, Sandra Dalton Smith. Yeah. Okay, good. And actually, to kick off this series on September 1, coming up pretty soon, September 1, I'm going to do a podcast interview with her on the phone. I am really excited. This probably will be starting to air on the podcast around the end of September, but I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to talk to the author. She's taking time to let me do a podcast with her. I am so excited. Now, if you want to know more about her, I really want to encourage you to get this book. I think when I do the podcast, it's going to be I'm just giving a taste of this book on the podcast. On this YouTube right now, I'm giving you a taste of a taste. But please get the book. You can go to Amazon and get it, or get it. And you can even Google Sacred Rest. And you can, in fact, if you Google Dr. Sandra Dalton Smith, you will see some great things about her and her ministry, videos that she has out, really good. So get to know the book, get to know her, but this is called Sacred Rest. And I want to do one, because on chapter 14 of this book, she has something called the gift of reflection. The gift of reflection. And, I have to tell you, I don't do real well at quiet times or meditative time or reflecting times. Maybe I need to do better at that. In fact, I remember when I was camp, I would go as a camper. We always had quiet time. I mean, you go out into the woods, sit under a tree and have a quiet time. Yeah, that didn't really work for me. Even as a counselor, I'd go out. And of course, you get your Bible and you're supposed to read on it. I tend to fall, it might be a half-hour quiet time. I fell asleep. I kid you not. I need to do better at reflection and quiet time, meditation times. But this book and this chapter, I'm reading it and going, yeah, okay, maybe you'll get more out of it. But I wanted to share with you just a couple of thoughts that she says about reflection, the gift of reflection. And she on page 131, she says, reflecting on life is a gift with the potential to transform and edify. It's a gift. It can transform us and edify us if we know what reflection's about. On page 133, she says, reflection is a gift that allows you to look back on your accomplishments. It allows you to discern what worked for you and what did not, and use that information to move forward stronger than you began. There's a reason for reflection. And I wanted to read, and I'm not going to read a lot in the podcast or even this, but I do want to read to you how she describes something called holy perspective, or maybe we could say holy reflection. Let me read to you at the bottom, again, page 133. She said, recently, my son received a telescope from his grandpa for Christmas. We were ecstatic about this gift because in the coming months, a series of 4 lunar eclipses were to occur. Lunar eclipses are an amazing example of reflection, okay? When there's a full moon, the light illuminates the night sky. It reflects the light from the sun with such intensity that it can create its own shadow from the light. However, when there's a lunar eclipse, the earth separates the sun and the moon. The moon is still full, but rather than appearing bright, it's dark with deep blood redness undertones. When looking at the sun, the moon reflects its light and brilliance. When looking at the earth, the moon reflects its darkness and inner turmoil. Similarity. When we're looking at things of God, we reflect His mind, His holy perspective. When our attention shifts to the things of earth, our lives still reflect darkness and depression. We need times of sacred rest, like the book here, isn't it? Schedule times in our busy day so we can turn towards God. We need His gift of reflection so we can be transformed into His likeness and reflect His glory. I think I need to focus more on this chapter, what that means to reflect and experience more of God's glory. I'm sure there's a lot more deeper stuff in this chapter, and maybe I'll read it again and again and again. But here's the thought for the day. God has given us a gift of reflection. May we use it. Thought for the day.
And now, here's Chaplain John.